So we're here at Teentech. Oh, that's really, really quiet now. About half an hour ago we had 290 kids in the room from a few dozen schools and loads and loads of people.
It is extraordinary as well, is how 290 teenagers takes up so much more space than 290 grown-ups.
It felt like they were more by the end of the day as well.
Yes, it just feels like about 500. But it's it just feels terrific actually, because they seem to have really got... You probably saw more of it than I did, because you've been going around taking all the pics and capturing bits with them. But they really seem to get stuck in, really enjoy any challenges that were thrown their way. And you know, when they were walking around the exhibition, the people, whether it was someone like, say, JVC or BT, they were saying they couldn't believe the level of questioning and how keen they were to find out more.
And the kind of key moments that stick out to me is kind of, I guess, shocking. I mean, my background is a science and technology one. Obviously, I did an engineering degree, did science A-levels. And when you asked the question this morning about their idea of what a scientist would be, the answer itself was almost a stereotype that it was, you know, the white lab coats and
isn't it? And it's jaw-dropping, isn't it? Because this you know, so you asked the question, and that one child said, you know, white coat, funny hair.
I thought that was a setup.
Yeah, no, it was,
and that was seriously, and talking to the kids, that was their view. That's what they genuinely thought.
And you know, so you had that one child, and then when I said, you know, so how many people envisaged a scientist in a white coat, and then all the hands went up, and then how many, and that was the thing that was really revealing, was how many imagined the scientist to be a man. I mean,
I was shocked.
Wasn't that? I mean, there were only out of 290, was it about 4 had thought about a woman?
Four was about a woman, which amazed me. And I kind of exist in a world where engineers are geeks and geeks are cool. And that's definitely not the world that the teenagers are in at school and growing up in.
And it's funny because they love technology so much, and it's so much part of the fabric of their lives in the way that when I was growing up it wasn't part of the fabric of my life at all. And so it's curious really that they can see all of that kit, they can really want it, but they still don't make the association and think about the people who are designing it and making it and having really cool ideas. But I mean, I loved. I mean, it's a shame now because the ideas wall is. But that wall was totally plastered in the little pieces of paper, post-it notes, you know, scraps of A4, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ideas. And I thought that was something that made, and it's great because obviously the students enjoy doing it, but from the technologists and the engineers, the people who were at the event, I think they were surprised by that level of imagination and engagement.
And I think for the teenagers as well, realising that it is actually a creative thing. People are inventing things, creating things. Like you say, they're surrounded by the technology, but until today, when somebody stops and actually gets them to think through, well, actually, it was somebody who'd done science A-levels, who've done an engineering degree, who designed these things, they just don't necessarily join the dots. So there's definitely some light bulb moments with some of the kids.
Yes, and it's really gratifying because a number of teachers came up and thanked me and said they'd had a really good day, that they got so much out of it. And they didn't have to do that, but thought, because it's a very simple idea. It's just bringing the people who are working in technology now to meet kids. So there's no, you haven't got like a careers teacher in between. They can talk straight to each other. So it's a very simple idea, really.
The kids definitely weren't shy in asking questions. You gave them some ideas there. Ask people what car they've got, how much they earn.
Oh, really?
And they did.
Did they?
Did
they? Because as I say, you probably were able to be a fly on the wall rather better than I was today.
And they definitely, as the afternoon went on, were kind of probing and asking questions, and it clearly opened their eyes to what it meant to pursue those qualifications, the options that it left open to them. It was interesting, the comments that came back time and time again from them, that they hadn't realised what it would let them do, and that they're not impossible subjects. Yes, they're hard, but employers value the fact that they've done a subject that they might perceive to be a little bit harder.
And also that they don't necessarily have to go to university, that there are entry levels at every point. And that's why it was really good to have the BT apprentices here showing this is what I do. I didn't go to university. I have done a degree since through being at BT, but I came straight after school because I think those things can be neglected by schools very often. They think about perhaps the high flyers, but they don't think about people who want to do something practical immediately, and then that gives them the confidence to to develop and do further education, but later.
Yeah, I think they like the BT folks did a video with them. Everyone who came along got a huge amount out of it just from talking to their kids and helping them enjoy what they do even more, and kind of realising that actually what they do is quite cool. So I think both sides seem to benefit from being here.
Yeah, well, you just hope that you've sparked a thought in a few minds today that there's, number one, a huge variety of jobs in science and technology, and that giving up on subjects like maths and physics, particularly at GCSE level, is a daft thing to do.
Yeah. And I think for those people out there who are technologists or pursue the science path, I think one of the things for them is talk to kids about what you do, because it's not something that you do very often as an adult. If we're now traders, actually explain to younger people how we got there, and what qualifications we did in the journey, and it's an opportunity to really promote the subjects and open up new avenues for kids. And
that was it, when it went round the exhibition, was that people in between sort of talking to the students were saying, when you do another one of these, can we do it? That just as you say, that experience of talking to young people was something that was really enjoyable, and I think they enjoyed it more perhaps than they expected. Though it is exhausting, we are very tired now.
It's energising but tiring. Thank you very much, Maggie.
Thank you. Well, thank you, because he's just got off a plane and done all this.
Jet lag.
Bet nothing's in focus.